What's up, people, and welcome back to more Sherlock Holmes. We're going to be starting the third case, Bloodbath.
Holmes, what happened?
I feel deathly.
Won't you look it? Let me examine you. Please don't tell me that you've returned to your old habits.
Old habits of what? You look so pale.
The temperature appears to be normal. The pupil is dilated. I need to concentrate and count the heartbeats.
Measure pulse rate by counting the heartbeats for 10 seconds, okay.
I need to concentrate and count the heartbeats.
Oh, do we need to click? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
A weak pulse, around 50 beats per minute. But you're dying, Holmes. Your pulse rate is dropping. We need to get you to the hospital immediately.
The antidote. Give it to me.
The antidote? You mean that you're poisoned?
Now. Please.
Here, drink it all. Don't tell me that you did this to yourself.
Hemlock and datura. I was compelled to.
Holmes, imagine if I'd not returned home when I did. What might have happened?
I knew that you would.
Mr. Holmes, Inspector Lestrade is here to see you.
Bad
Mr.
timing.
Holmes is unable to see anyone at the moment. He is unwell.
A good day, Inspector.
Ah, Mr. Holmes.
Okay, never mind.
I'm glad to find you here. I need your help. This is a strange one. We have brought in 2 young bankers from the city, sons of lords, members of the chamber, and so on and so forth. They were found stranded in a rowing boat that was drifting on the Thames.
A romantic escapade with an unhappy ending, Lestrade.
What? Well, yes, they were both in the bath, but... what?
As I said,
And they were tied together.
you are lacking in imagination, Inspector.
Well, no, I'm not. Anyway, there was a banner flapping about in the boat with the RMS Oceanic printed on it and signed by the Merry Men.
The Oceanic. Isn't that the largest steamer ever built?
Yes, and these 2 young banker chaps are sons of the owners of the White Star Line, the company that built it. There are rumours of corruption.
I'm not interested in politics, Lestrade.
I'll keep it then. Here's another one that's a bit more complex and maybe to your liking. It's a murder, but we're unable to find any weapon. We haven't touched anything. It's at the Roman Baths in Strand Lane.
A murder, a vanishing weapon, the Roman baths. That's for us. Watson, fetch your hat.
Oh yeah, I like murders. Alright, we'll go to the Strand Lane bath.
Beautiful place.
With a dreadful murder. The body of Sir Rodney Bentcliffe is still in the steam room. It has not been touched, per your usual instructions, Mr. Holmes. I shall be waiting for you here, but please hurry.
Suspects.
Are you able to identify the men who were with the victim in the steam room?
Yes. The manager of the bath, Sir Gregory Pitkin, a lad from the city council, Garrow, and an archaeologist by the name of Blinkhorn. I think the plump one, Garrow, did it. He doesn't seem right in the head.
Well, we shall see.
It's always the plump one.
You found no murder weapon?
No, and that's why I called you. All three witnesses and the victim were locked in when the murder occurred, and they remained so until we got here. We even had to pick the lock to enter.
I see. Was there anyone else here, apart from those gentlemen in the steam room?
Yes, a Mr. Phillips. He was the one who called the police. He'll be able to give you more details.
Alright, let me see. Personality ranking just. Oh, that's from our last one. Alright, and we got another souvenir. The train whistle. Where's the guy that we had to talk to? Oh, he's sitting down now. Come here, Mr. Phillips.
Good day to you, Mr. Phillips. My name is Sherlock Holmes, and this is my colleague, Dr. Watson. Would you be so kind as to answer our questions?
Certainly, sir.
First character portrait. Right. Light wrinkles. What else? Strange ears. Oh, scissor cut. Grooms himself. Lives alone. Scissor cut. What's this? Fastidious. Shiny buttons. Manchester City? He's from Manchester. Ooh. Telegram sent today. Alright, tell us what happened,
Please tell
sir.
us the chain of events from the start of your day. Everything that you can remember. The slightest detail may be of importance.
Very well, sir. I came in at 6:30 this morning, and I opened the baths. I made sure that the room was clean, and I prepared the towels. The brazier was still burning.
There was a fire burning all night.
Yes, Sir Gregory ordered me to light the brazier yesterday. It takes some time until the room is fully heated. The gentleman had a meeting at 9 o'clock this morning. I wanted everything to be perfect. They'd been in the steam room for 20 minutes when I suddenly heard shouting. I ran to the door, but it was closed. I couldn't open it. So I ran out to the street to call for the police. One constable came up, and then there were others, and they picked the lock. Then Inspector Lestrade came along, and he told us that nothing should be touched.
Did you receive any other visitors this morning?
No one. Until these gentlemen arrived. Sir Gregory was the first. And then, while we were discussing work details, Sir Rodney and Mr. Blinkhorn arrived, and Mr. Garrow followed.
What happened after that?
I waited until they'd all entered the steam room, then I returned to the hall. The changing room door was open, so I should hear if they needed anything.
You would have heard if someone had entered or left the steam room.
Certainly, sir. These doors make a lot of noise.
Okay. And he apparently hasn't seen anyone or heard anyone go in or out. Phillips is from Manchester. He takes care of both himself and the establishment where he works, and he is seen as a good employee. He went out this morning to send a telegram, probably to his hometown. Right.
The steam room's on the other side, Mr. Holmes.
Oh, okay. We'll go to the steam room. Is it in here? What's this sign?
The steam room.
Sudatorium. I thought there was a murder here. Champagne bottle.
Champagne for a special occasion. Champagne for a special occasion.
Rotate.
An ice bucket to keep the champagne chilled. Unopened.
Cork.
It was intended to be enjoyed after the steam session.
So it remained unused. Clothes.
Expensive clothes. belonging to one of the men from the steam room.
Right, so there were 3
These
people
clothes
in
belong to
total
one of the
inside.
suspects from the steam room.
We cannot
Clothes
search through
belonging
their
to
clothes.
one of the suspects.
Oh god, they're gonna be naked, aren't they? Thank God for towels. Oh,
Good Lord, Holmes.
Ah, death with a peculiarly Roman piquancy.
Like the one you almost had an hour ago.
Let us forget about that.
okay, let us look at the body. Oh, the face. Is his eye poked out?
There
or
was only one hit from the weapon. It pierced the right eye straight through to the brain. Death would have been instantaneous.
Holy crap.
The wound should not have bled so profusely. This pool is rather large.
Right hand.
Some dirt or earth. I'll take a sample. Look,
Ring
Watson,
finger
He was
missing.
wearing a ring. He very likely
Oh, the ring,
removed
not
it
the
before
finger.
the steam session.
Anything else? Wrist.
Death is very recent. Between 30 minutes to 1 hour ago.
I think we have found all that we can here, taking into consideration the abysmal lighting. Constable, we have finished with the body.
We don't have many leads here.
What concerns me is that we still have to find the murder weapon.
Mr. Holmes?
Please have the body removed without disturbing anything else in the room.
All right, Mr. Holmes.
I was wondering, Holmes, it's fairly reckless to carry out a murder inside a closed chamber. Why do you suppose they did it?
There are a great many possibilities. The murderer was in a hurry. Or he is an artist. Or a ghost. Or he wanted to ensure that I'd be brought in on the case.
Probably the latter. You are ridiculous. Do you know that?
My money is on Ghost. It's gotta be the Ghost.
I should check this blood sample at Baker Street.
Alright, took a blood sample. A key?
This key was covered in blood. I should ask Phillips about it.
Ew, but that's like right where he was sitting. Why would there be a key there?
Mr. Holmes?
Mr. Holmes? We can talk through the other 3 people later. Steam switch.
With the steam on, I'm unable to see even a few feet away.
I can't see anything at all. Alright, let us just turn it back off. We might need that later though. Glasses.
One lens is cracked, probably due to the temperature of the brazier. These lenses are for myopia. The wearer is short-sighted.
The brazier.
The brazier is still burning. The heat here is extreme. It is too hot. I cannot reach into it. I will need something to pick up this melted metal.
What would we use to pick it up? We have 2 pieces that we need to ask questions about and 2 other things that we need to perform analysis on. And we need something to pick up the brazier. Let's talk with the other people first. The plump one.
It's horrible. So Rodney, he's dead. Can't we speak about it somewhere else? I found him. I touched his shoulder, thinking that he was just asleep.
Oh my God.
I don't want to stay here. Let us out, please.
Nope, you're going to be staying right here.
I'm in shock. I don't want to talk.
Why don't they want to talk?
It's horrible. I can't talk at the moment.
Did they all just come together and say like, yeah, let's all just say we can't talk. We're gonna go somewhere else. Wait, what's this? Grid? I mean, what are witnesses worth if they're not gonna say anything?
Be removed. The weapon is nowhere to be found.
Oops, there we go. I like third person better. Find the missing weapon that was used to kill. So we cannot leave until we actually
the
find
grid cannot
the
be
weapon.
removed.
How do we grab the brazier?
The brazier is still burning. The heat here is extreme.
There's nothing around it.
I will need something to pick up this melted metal. It is too hot. I cannot reach into it.
But turning on the steam makes it even worse, right?
With the steam on, I'm unable to see even a few feet away.
Maybe we'll just walk around like this. Maybe we'll see something. We got supervision anyway. Absolutely nothing. So turning that on and off does nothing. Oh, this is what I saw. See what Watson has to say.
What should we do next, Holmes?
I don't know. We'll ask Lestrade.
Mr. Holmes, I should like to take the suspects to the yard. You can interrogate them there. Any objections?
No objections, that's fine.
None, Lestrade.
Examine belongings. Alright, he took them to the police station.
How many people have keys to the steam room?
We have just the one key for now, which Sir Gregory gave to me.
So, this morning you opened the steam room, and then?
I put the key inside my desk, but when they called, I couldn't find it. It had disappeared. I don't know where it is.
Is it this
Did
key?
you leave the baths at any time, or receive any visitors?
No, sir. I did not.
You must have. He wanted to go for the telegram.
You are not telling the truth, Mr.
Liar.
Phillips. You left your work this morning, and you went to the post office, where you dispatched a telegram at around 7:30.
But how could you... No,
I know
The
everything.
telegram was for someone in Manchester.
Mr. Holmes, it's I'll tell you everything. I left the baths at 7:20. My sister wrote to me yesterday, and she needed a reply, or our mother is unwell. I was away for 20 minutes, and I closed the baths on my way out.
Did you receive a reply from your sister?
No, she wasn't meant to. I just told her to pawn my old school uniform so that she could pay for the medication.
Did you check to see if the key was still in your desk when you returned?
No, I didn't. Please, Mr. Holmes, don't tell the police about this. Sir Gregory would give me the sack. I need this job.
I see. There is a bottle of champagne on ice in the changing room. Do you have any idea who left it there?
There is? Are you quite certain? I didn't pay any attention. Do you believe that it's important?
Right, find missing weapon. The suspects are at Scotland Yard and ready for interrogation. The belongings of the victim and the witnesses are ready to be examined. So everything is basically at Scotland Yard.
These baths are becoming sinister.
I'm always wondering what's on your mind, Holmes.
Alright, I think we're done here then. Let's go to Scotland Yard for some interrogation. Crime and punishment. He's reading a book about that. Okay. They're in here somewhere. First, the personal belongings. Turn the evidence room.
This ring was most likely the one that Sir Rodney wore. He removed it before entering the steam room. An Egyptian symbol. It is a very old jewel.
Is that Egyptian? What the hell? It doesn't look Egyptian.
I see the join. This ring was repaired, and quite badly too, with silver.
Why on earth would they wear such a ring?
A very pertinent question.
Alright, a ring, a coin.
An old and rather dirty coin.
12? What's the Roman numeral for V? I forgot. I think it's 10. Rodney Bentcliffe.
Rodney Bentcliffe's notebook. It may contain something of interest.
Torn
the last pages were torn out. We must find a way of retrieving Sir Rodney's last lines. Watson, please prevent anyone from entering the room. But first, fetch me a pencil.
Ah, we're gonna do that old
trick.
To
begin with, a few strokes of the pencil will be enough. I don't want to damage the traces.
I used to do this as a child as well. Alright, just slowly and surely. Today I almost found...
And then to gently smudge the leftover pencil marks with a handkerchief. I'm sure that Watson won't mind if I use his.
Again? Alright, gently smudge. There we go.
Mr. Holmes, the coroner... But what are you doing? Tampering with the evidence?
I prefer to make them talk. Today, I almost found it. This date will go down in history. Sir Rodney was about to make an outstanding discovery.
Wonderful.
I could retrieve only the final words. The rest of it is lost. Perhaps the autopsy will assist us in that matter.
I'm not sure that I can allow you to inspect the body now.
I am sure that you must, Constable.
Well...
A report from the coroner. Sir Rodney Bentcliffe, age 63. The right eyeball has been pierced to the hilt by a curved-bladed knife. The blade cut through the orbit of the frontal bone, ripping a part of the frontal lobe and the corpus callosum, after which, completing its trajectory in the cerebellum, caused its hemorrhagic lesions. Okay. All of these injuries led directly to the death of the individual. At the upper lobe of the right lung, there is an old injury filled with an amount of mucus and silated debris that may correspond to a chronic infection by elements likely inhaled in a burial chamber, a decaying mummy for example, or a dried and composing food product intended to accompany the deceased in their grave. The remainder of the body does not appear to have been damaged. Sir Rodney's body is ready for examination. We can do that later. First we have to check the rest of the belongings. I want to check all of it.
A hand-drawn map.
Okay, we're just gonna take that.
An ordinary pencil.
A letter. Sir Gregory Pitkin, manager to Mr. Blinkhorn. Dear Sir, the interests that I represent require the situation at the baths to be changed for the better. At the present time, the frigidarium excavations remain under your direction, and yet the works have not progressed. You have failed to find anything of value, and we are unable to make the frigidarium accessible to the public. The frigidarium, can they just have chosen a better name? Frigidarium is a valuable asset in the recreation of the Roman bath experience. I urge you to complete your work within the next 2 months. You have this remaining time to conclude your archaeological research and to find yourself another workplace. So that's just a note ahead of time that he's going to be fired. That could be a possible motive. Drug file.
A file with herbs. Do you know what it is, my dear fellow?
It's the St. John's wort flower, Holmes. It's commonly used as a drug against melancholia. However, an overdosage might lead to a rash or even hallucinations.
Hallucinations, cool.
When Garrow found Sir Rodney dead, he wiped the blood upon himself.
Alright, the last person's belongings, Pitkins. A visiting card. Sir Gregory Pitkin, manager Roman Bath.
Sir Gregory Pitkin's visiting card. A fountain pen with solid gold trim.
That looks expensive.
An embroidered silk handkerchief.
Alright, is that it?
What should we do next, Holmes?
Well, that's going to be it for this video. In the next one, we're going to be examining the body and probably interrogating the rest of the suspects. So thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.